The cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath as Jesus and Satan faced each other, two eternal forces standing at the precipice of the ultimate battle. The sky above them churned with swirling clouds of gold and black, where angels and demons gathered as silent witnesses to the confrontation that would decide the fate of all creation. The very air between them vibrated with an intensity that bent reality, time slowing to a crawl as the universe braced for the impact of their clash. Jesus stood radiant, his robes shimmering like woven light, his eyes deep pools of unshakable love and power, holding within them the weight of eternity itself. In his presence, the darkness recoiled, yet Satan stood unyielding, his form a grotesque blend of shattered beauty and hideous corruption. The remnants of his former glory twisted into something monstrous, his blackened wings unfurled like the shadow of an eclipse, stretching endlessly across the battlefield, his form crackling with unholy fire as his burning gaze met the eyes of his ancient foe. "You do not belong here, deceiver," Jesus spoke, his voice neither raised nor angry, yet it carried the force of 1,000 storms, shaking the very bones of existence. The words cut through Satan like a blade of truth, but he only sneered, his jagged teeth glinting in the dim, infernal glow that surrounded him. "I was here before time, and I will be here long after," Satan hissed, his voice laced with venom, each syllable dripping with defiance. "You came to break my dominion, yet look around, Son of God. This world is mine. Their hearts are weak, their souls eager to be claimed. You preach of salvation, yet they bow to me in the end." He lifted his clawed hand, and at his command, the ground beneath them split open, revealing an abyss of writhing souls, their wails of despair echoing like a chorus of suffering. Shadows slithered from the depths, crawling toward Jesus like living nightmares, their grotesque forms twisting and convulsing in hunger for the light they could never touch. But Jesus did not flinch. Instead, he took a single step forward, and with that motion alone, a wave of divine energy radiated outward, sending the darkness recoiling like a beast struck by the voice of its master. The souls that had been bound in chains of despair were released, their cries turning to songs of joy as they were lifted into the light, ascending like stars into the heavens. Satan snarled, fury distorting his face, his twisted horns catching the dim glow of the abyss below. "You think your love can save them all?" he spat, his wings beating against the nothingness, shaking the very void itself. "Even now they choose me. They crave power, lust, greed. I do not force them. They come willingly." Jesus gazed upon him, his expression unchanging, but in his eyes was something deeper than mere righteousness. It was sorrow not for himself, but for the fallen one before him. "You were once magnificent," he said softly, his words a whisper of truth that sent cracks through the illusion of Satan's invincibility. The fallen prince recoiled as if struck, his body trembling for the briefest of moments before he let out a roar that shattered the silence, a sound so filled with agony and rage that the stars themselves seemed to dim. "Enough!" Satan bellowed, and in an instant, he lunged. The air exploded with force as he moved faster than thought, his claws slashing toward Jesus with the fury of eons of rebellion. The moment his attack should have struck, there was a blinding flash of light, pure, holy, immeasurable. Jesus had not moved, yet Satan was sent hurtling back, crashing into the shattered remains of the battlefield, his form seared by the brilliance that radiated from the Messiah. He gritted his teeth, forcing himself up, his body wreathed in dark fire, his wings tattered yet still defiant. With a guttural snarl, he raised his arms, and from the depths of the abyss came an army, legions of demons, their eyes burning like embers, their forms twisted and grotesque, a sea of darkness surging forward, each step causing reality to shudder. Yet Jesus remained still, and then he raised his hand. From the heavens came a sound, not a battle cry, not a command, but a single resounding note, a melody so pure that it sent the darkness retreating before it even reached the battlefield. And then they came, the hosts of heaven descending like falling stars, each angel clad in armor that shimmered like morning light, their swords blazing with divine fire. The forces of hell and heaven clashed in an explosion of power, The battlefield ignited with the fury of the final war. Satan fought like a cornered beast, his strength fueled by hatred, his attacks relentless. Every strike of his claws sent waves of destruction outward. And yet, no matter how he fought, Jesus remained untouched, his presence unshaken.